Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel for this very slightly late weekly update. So normally I try and post my videos at 5 o'clock today, 5 o'clock UK time, although that probably doesn't mean anything to any of my American viewers. But today I have been obsessively playing the new Spider-Man game for PS5, so I honestly forgot that I hadn't filmed this already because I was planning on filming it yesterday and kind of just forgot. So, what have I been reading this week? So, I finished End of Watch earlier this week, which is the final book in the Bill Hodges trilogy, and it's the third Holly Gibney book by Stephen King, obviously. His name's pretty large on the cover. I really enjoyed this one. I think that the addition of the kind of supernatural element that I'm more familiar with when it comes to King stuff made me really enjoy it. But also, I just think it was a really good mystery and like a really good story. Mystery is probably the wrong term. Thriller. It's a really good thriller. And while I was aware that there were supernatural aspects to the final book, and they hint at some supernatural stuff at the very, very end of Finders Keepers, the actual stuff that was going on wasn't stuff that had been hinted at all, and I found it really, really enjoyable. So yeah, big recommend. End of Watch. I think they pitch it as a standalone novel, but I don't see it as standalone at all. It builds so much on the first two in the trilogy. I just don't think you could read it without reading the others. I think you could definitely read Finders Keepers without reading the others, although I would still say just read Mr. Mercedes first, because they're all quite short reads, and Mr. Mercedes and End of Watch are kind of tied for the best, I think, mostly because there's just not enough of the characters that I loved in Finders Keepers. But there's reviews for all three on the channel. Once I have finished all the Holly Gibney books, I will do like a little mini ranking or something like that. As I am spending, I spent basically since like 8 a.m. this morning and for like 3 hours last night playing the new Spider-Man game. I still think I've probably got a day's worth of video game left to go. So I don't know if I'll finish all the Holly Gibney books this month. So I think that what will end up happening is I would really like to continue with them and binge them as I planned. So I will probably just carry on reading them into November. My November reading plan was to read the Skyward series from Brandon Sanderson, but I think that I'll probably just shelve that for now. And then after I finish the Holly books, so I mean, if I finish them by the end of the month, excellent. But if I don't finish them, then I will probably add in some self-pub sequels that I read to books I read in September, or possibly some of maybe I will start Skyward and see how I feel about that series, and if I love it, maybe that'll be one that I can binge as well. So we'll see. I really enjoy binge reading series that are like easy breezy to read. So like Dresden Files, I binged like the first 15 in like a couple of months, and then things like what's other really highly readable stuff. I mean, yeah, like these Stephen King books. I mean, like I'm reading one and maybe two a week. The next book that I moved on to after reading End of Watch, so that was kind of a what am I going to read? So we'll come back to that. But the next book I started was The Outsider, which is the first Holly Gibney book that is not starring Bill Hodges, and I'm pretty certain that it's in a different place because the Bill Hodges books are set in a city. I'm not actually sure which one. I don't think they ever say expressly. But The Outsider is in, technically, they say it's technically a city, but it's more like a small town. Everybody knows everybody sort of place. And, you know, like they talk about it having like a tiny police station and things like that. So it's not meant to be a large town I think it's just a city by name, but not nature. So I am, let's have a look. How far are we into The Outsider? I'm 157 pages in, and it's about 450 pages long. So a third. I'm a third of the way through. No Holly yet, which is fun. I really like all the new characters, though. I'm really liking Detective Anderson, and kind of getting his point of view on things. And I think that Marcy Maitland is a really interesting character, and I want more of her. I really enjoyed the kind of opening evidence gathering like phase of the book. It's really fun. So yeah, I definitely. So far, I'm having a good time. I watched the trailer for the HBO series just out of curiosity to see how how the characters were portrayed, and I think that was really, really well done as well. It looks a lot better done from what I've read of The Outsider than Mr. Mercedes was. I think Mr. Mercedes, I felt was a little. Sorry, I've got my tablet here. I need to keep my notes open, and they accidentally closed. So I think this book so far is super, super interesting, and I think the adaptation looks like it's been better put together. So as soon as I finish playing the new Spider-Man game, I will be back on The Outsider. Ideally, my plan would be to finish it early next week, maybe Monday, Tuesday. Depends on how long Spider-Man takes, depends on how busy my weekend is, because it's only Friday today, but I did have the day off work to play video games. So the next 2 days are one of those days is full games, all day. Again, like today. So cross your fingers, I'll be able to finish the story. I'm not trying to rush the game. I just kind of I made kind of a pact with my wife. I was like, oh, I just really want to play this game. Do you mind if I basically take 2 days out? I'm still doing a lot of my dad duties, but I'm just kind of taking 2 days to play this game and then going back to normal life. Now, what am I going to read next? So once I finish The Outsider, I picked up, and you may have seen this as I did a short about it, If It Bleeds, which is the next Holly Gibney book. And now this one is, as far as I was aware, it was a short story, a short story collection even, and one of the short stories is a Holly Gibney story. When I read the back, it makes it seem like this is a whole novel. So I guess we'll find out. So that could be fun, because I definitely did not have time to read 2 more novels after The Outsider, because I've got If It Bleeds, and then I've got Holly, which somebody very, very kindly gifted to me, so thank you if that was you. I'll say thank you over and over and over, because it's such a cool thing to receive. I'm pretty certain I knew who sent it, but you know. What else? There's one other thing I wanted to cover, actually, which is that I have also been reading using my Marvel Unlimited subscription. In the run-up to the Spider-Man game coming out, I was in a real Spider-Man-y mood, so I have been reading Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s run on Amazing Spider-Man, which is the latest run. The last few writers on the book I have tried and just felt they weren't up to scratch. I think Zeb Wells is a good writer, and I'm enjoying his Peter. I think his Peter's very good, and I think that the stories that he's coming up with are very good. I think that the issue is that he's probably had kind of an editorial mandate on what he's supposed to be doing with Spider-Man, and it just doesn't feel like he's telling his story that he wants to tell. I could be extremely wrong, so Zeb Wells, please answer below if I'm wrong. You won't watch this, so that I can freely say that, I expect. What came out on the channel this week? So, get the old tabletto. So this week we had Finders Keepers review. end of watch review, and for my Tuesday video. And this is one that I really enjoyed making, and I really enjoyed doing the research for it, because I basically got to sit down and read through the blurbs and some spotted reviews for every single book by Stephen King. So I came back after reading all of those and writing down a few favourites and making some notes. I came back with my top 7 Stephen King books that I can't wait to read. So that's not just the video that I enjoyed making the most this week, although I did really enjoy reading the books that I read to do the reviews. It was also the most successful video this week by a country mile. So my end of watch reviews only had like 6 views, and my Finders Keepers reviews only had 12 views. Every booktuber tells you that sequel reviews do really poorly, and that's fine. I still want to make reviews for every book I read. I think that otherwise, I will just be down to like one video a week, and it will just be lists. And like, I enjoy doing the research and the chat for the list videos, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I like to have the review content as well, to make sure that there's more stuff on there for you guys to watch if you really like the channel. But also, I like to make sure that we've got reviews and stuff on there, because I've got reviews and stuff on there because I think I really enjoy watching book reviews. So I watch. My favourite thing to do ever is to finish a book, like kind of early evening. So you're talking like 8 or 9 or 10, and then like spend the hour before I go to bed watching other people's reviews. I absolutely love doing that, and so I'm going to. It's hard for me to pledge this because I know that a lot of YouTubers will delete their old content, but I want to pledge now that I'm going to try and never take down any of my reviews, so that they're evergreen. So if you, for example, see me talk about a book in a TBR video, see me talk about a book in a wrap up, and think, oh, I'd really like to read End of Watch, and you add it to the end of your TBR and you read it next year, I want my review to be there for you as kind of evergreen, so that you can come back and you can watch the review and see what I thought of it. So that's kind of my philosophy and my thinking with the reviews. It's quite funny because I've looked back at some of my reviews, and while some of my like topical, some of my like off the books non-review videos do really well for the first couple of weeks, and then they drop off a cliff. The reviews, if I look at my views for the week, you'll often see that like there's every single review is getting 1 or 2 views, and that's great. The fact that my reviews are hopefully giving people what I love out of BookTube, which is watching reviews, and if my videos can do that, then awesome. Speaking of what I love about BookTube, I posted a tweet earlier this week. I tweeted that the worst thing about BookTube, I'll tell you now, and I'm sure booktubers will agree about this. The worst thing about BookTube is that now I no longer have time to watch BookTube because I'm doing BookTube. So I used to watch religiously everything from Mike's book reviews, Matt's fantasy book reviews, Philip Chase, Murphy Napier, Elliot Brooks. I was a little bit picky and choosy with some other people like Daniel Green. But then since starting BookTube, I've also found a few other channels that I interact with and watch on the regular. So Bask in the Story, I am terrible. I actually can't remember your name. Farah. I love Farah's channel. And Colin's Corner. All 3 of those I watch all the time. And it's quite funny because what I've done is I'm looking at my subscriptions list and going, right, all these big YouTubers that I love, they don't need my views or my comments. They'll do fine without. So I'm going to look at my kind of booktube friends that I've made with tag videos and comments and things like that, and I'm going to Bookstalgic. That's Farah's channel, Bookstalgic. I'm going to give my views to my new friends that I've made, and I think that that's a good philosophy currently. We will see. I'm still able to keep up with a couple of channels. So, for example, Andrew Watson, because he only puts out like a video a week, and his videos aren't like 40-minute monsters, I am able to keep up with that. But it's funny how one of the things that made me want to do booktube was how much I loved watching it, and now I don't have time to watch it. Don't worry, I'm not thinking of quitting or slowing down. Although I have no idea what video I'm going to put out on Monday, because I will not have finished The Outsider unless some sort of miracle happens. So maybe on Monday we'll do a historical review. So a review for a book that I haven't just read, but a review for a book I've read in the past. So stay tuned for that. Maybe if anyone would be interested in another comics for X readers, just give me a genre and I'll see if I can find a fun comic to recommend. So that has been what I've read, what I'm going to read, what's been on the channel this week, a little bit of waxing philosophical and taking 5 minutes to remember Farah's booktube channel's name. I'll try and remember to put all the names of the channels I've recommended in the comments below, because again, they're all great channels. A lot of them are, still in their first 100 or so, first couple of hundred subscribers. I think they all have more than me, but they're all in the first couple of hundred. So it's great to see, to be able to support them and watch their stuff. And they're all making like genuinely great videos that are of a quality that you'd see from these channels that have like hundreds of thousands of subs. So definitely give them a subscribe and a view if you are interested. If you like my content, you'll like theirs, I'm sure. One other bit of news, and this isn't something that I almost didn't celebrate this or say anything about it, but I was really pleased to hit 100 subscribers this week. So I feel like my subscriber numbers really slowed down in the last couple of weeks. So like I was getting like 10 or 15 a week, and then I got to 98 or 99, and then it just dropped off a cliff, and I started getting like one every 3 days. I'm up to 104 now, which is really cool. Technically, in the non-cheating sense, 103, because my wife subscribed to my channel, and so she's not going to watch the video, so does it count? Anyway, but I hit 100 subscribers. I'm really hoping 100 subscribers by Christmas was my goal, so I now have no idea what to go for as a new goal, because I managed to hit 100 subscribers so I started in August. We're almost at 2 months now. I don't think I'm going to do a 2 months on booktube video. That's pretty self-indulgent, and that's pretty much what all of these videos are, the weekly updates. I just talk about how booktube's going. What was I saying? Yeah, so 104 subscribers. Happy with that. Very, very happy with that. Ecstatic with that. I was seriously thinking if I could hit 200 or 300 by the end of next year, I'd be happy. So thanks so much for subscribing if you're a subscriber, and if you aren't, there's this really cool button you can click which says subscribe, and it will tell me that you like my videos. If you don't like my videos, leave a comment, give me some suggestions on how I can improve. I'm always happy to engage with you guys. If you've got books you want me to read or that you think that I would like, then put them in the comments as well. I think I've read like every book, or added, at least, if I've not read, I've added every book that has been recommended to me to my TBR, or already read it. Self-Pub September, I picked up multiple books that were recommended from comments. So make sure to drop a comment down below with a recommendation. I'll always try and get to it. And as I said, because the November schedule's kind of gone crazy, it is going to go crazy because I don't have time to read in advance. I don't think I have time to read these 3 novels before the end of the month. Maybe November I'll have some time to fill, so I'll need some suggestions. thanks again for watching. Thanks again for subscribing. It really means the world to me to see likes, to see comments, to see subscribes. If you don't feel comfortable doing any of those things, share my video with a friend, because clicking that share button tells YouTube that you thought my video was cool enough to send it to someone else. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good weekend. Bye.